Hello everyone, peace of the Lord to all. In this video we will show you some of the deception Muslims they do when they speak to Muslims, not only to you, which mean the victims of the scam is Muslims too, not only non-Muslims. There's something unique about Muslims, that as long you are saying something good about Muhammad, nobody will question you. Once I enter a chat room of Muslims, and because they know who I am, so they give me the mic, and for me always, let us say I have my own way to prove their ignorance and their madness. So I took the microphone and I started saying Muhammad never raped a woman. Everybody in the chat room was saying you are a liar. I said Muhammad never steal. In the text they are saying you are a liar. Muhammad never kidnapped people, never asked for ransom, Muhammad never lied. Everybody in the chat room was saying to me, liar, liar. Now I was saying Muhammad is a good man, but they were saying to me, you're a liar. Why? Because simply they know in their mind that this is a Christian prince, he will never say something good about Muhammad, so whatever he say, we call him a liar, which means they don't listen. And this is exactly the same case when you speak good about Islam and you are a person who is known to speak good about Islam. Whatever you say, they shake their head, say you are saying the truth, but nobody is listening. And now I'm going to show you an example how this guy he is deceiving the Muslims. By the way, speaking against Islam is a big problem because you might lose your life. But speaking for Islam, it's a big business. It's risk-free, and Muslims will praise you wherever you go, and you will make a lot of money. Now I want to show you in this video how those Muslims, they scam each other. Now let us watch. I will give you just some examples from the beginning, because the video is long, it's like an hour and a half. But if we can prove that the first few of them, the beginning, I'm not going to choose, I will let the tape go from the beginning, from zero. This is the first second in the video. So we will answer the first few of them, and if they are scam, it means the rest are scam too. There is no need to answer the rest. Let us see.
Allah Azza wa Jalla, He says in Surah Al-Muddathir, وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ. The waw in the beginning is like the English capital letter. Like when you start a new sentence, you begin with capital letter. In Arabic, waw can be used for many things, over 21 things. One of them is al-istinaf, to start a new sentence. So you could think of the waw in the beginning as a new sentence. No,
actually, this is not true. You see, this guy, he is a professional idiot who he claimed that he speaks Arabic very well, but that's not true. The waw here, in Arabic, there's conjunction. Like if you are, this is not about starting a new verse. You are talking and you are continuing. You don't start, you don't continue if you are not starting something already. So in Arabic we call it waw harful atf, which means it's conjunction between the first sentence and the second sentence. However, let us see what he's saying.
The rest of the ayah says rabbaka fakabbir. Now listen to this carefully. What's the first letter you hear when I say rabbaka? What's the first letter of the Arabic alphabet that you hear? Everybody heard the ra? Rabbaka? Now listen for the last letter. Rabbaka fakabbir. What's the last letter you heard? Okay. Now listen carefully for the second letter. Rabbaka. What's the second letter? Rabbaka. Ba. Listen for the second last letter. Rabbaka fakabbir. What's the second last letter? Ba. Rabbaka. What's the third letter? Kaf, Rabbaka, fakabbir. What's the third last letter? You notice something? It's spelled backwards and forwards the same way. It's spelled backwards and forwards the same way.
No, it doesn't really. You see, in the beginning he said the first letter is wa in the verse, and he took it off. He said this is just, to continue, or to start a new sentence. But in fact, it is part of the verse. And if you want to make it really perfect the way it should be, you don't have a right to take a letter from the Quran and says it's not there, let us go only by this. So this is what the Muslims do. They took the wa off and then they say, oh, okay, we can read it backward, forward. By the way, in language, this exists in many languages, in many words, it's what a big deal. But in order to make it look like unique, he have to take a letter from it. It's a very, let us say for the sake of argument, this is true. And because this word exists in Islam and exists before Islam and exists after Islam. And Rabbaka, like Quran did not come with something new, by the way. Quran is using Arabic words which exist already before Islam. So what is this, you know? And you will see even in the Arab before Islam who worship pagans like the Muslims who worship pagans, Kaaba and Black Stone and Muhammad, they are using the same statement. Rabbaka fakabbir, that's not something new. Muhammad actually copying what the Arab used to say. So now here he took the letter wa off from the beginning. Alright, this is wa, sorry for my writing. And now to make it look nice, he have to take it off, and he say, look, we have something unique here. We take this one off, and then we have Rabbaka fakabbir. Now you'll notice here something additional to this. You will notice here that the letter Bay or Ba is mentioned once, but in here he put it twice. Now why? He will tell you because here there is something it's called shadda. What shadda mean? Shadda, you extend the pronunciation of the letter. Like you say sa. So like the sa is long, so this is shadda. Ba. You extend it. But in here you will see he counted the ba as twice letters. It's not one no more. Same in here for the letter ba, as you see, it appear in the top it appear only once, but in here he make it twice. This is ba. And don't be confused, by the way. It's the same letter, but when it's alone, it look like this. When it's connected, look like this. So this is the letter ba when it's alone. So how come now it's coming twice? They will tell you, well, because there is a shadda here. Just to expose the hypocrisy of those Muslims, the same guy who speak about the ba as two letters, in different place he speak about it as one letter. Like what? If you remember, the Muslims speak about the mathematic miracle of number 19. And they count for you the letters of the chapter of Al-Fatiha. Let me show you. You can go yourself and you can search for it and you will see the following. That they count the letter Ba, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, etc. And you will see that every letter have a shadda is not counted twice, it's counted only once. If we go here to Al-Fatiha as an example, here, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I will go only with the same letters that appear in that video, just to show you the hypocrisy, even though there is many shadda here. You see the shadda in the top of Allah, but we will go only with the letters he mentioned, which is Rabba or Rabbi. Here we have a shadda, but when we go to the count in the mathematics, they make it 19. I mean, they make it as one letter. They don't make it two letters. And the same goes for everything in the verse. The letter Ra, it count as once, but he just said the letter should be two, Ba Ba, which means here should be Ra Ra because it's have shadda. Here has shadda. Here has shadda. Here has shadda. There's shadda everywhere, but when they want to do it look like a miracle as number 19, they count the letter as one letter. It's not twice no more. So the Muslims are very flexible, depend in their lie. If when they want to make it look like number 19, they count this letter as one letter. When they want to make it for something else, they count this letter two letters. And this is why I say Muslims are the last one to be trusted. You cannot trust a Muslim saying anything to you about Islam. For me, this is very funny to find, to say amazing, dazzling things. Dazzling thing, this is dazzling thing. I don't see anything dazzling. The dazzling is that you decide to take a letter off of the verse to make it dazzling for you. Let us continue.
In English literature, we call this a palindrome. Something that
They call it what? So in English it exists too. In many languages, all languages, it exists too. All right.
spells backwards and forwards the same way, like Bob or race car. Race car is an interesting palindrome in English.
That must be a miracle. Race car must be a miracle too.
Allah Azza wa Jal gave our Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam words that he didn't write down. وَمَا تَخُطُّهُ بِيَمِينِكَ, Allah tells him. You didn't write anything down with your hand. You don't know how to write.
Okay, thank you very much. So the Muslims, they say to us that even the Quran was collected in the time of Muhammad, but now he is saying to us, you did not write it with your hand. Is not allowed by Allah, because Allah says you will not write it by your hand. So what the point of Allah is saying to Muhammad, you will not write it with your hand, when Muhammad cannot write anyway? That would be a stupid statement to say to someone he cannot write anyway. The only solution is either you say Allah is stupid, or you say that Allah is not speaking to Muhammad, he is speaking to the Muslims. If we go to the verse, we will see the following. Just to show you the deception, he is saying that Allah, he said to Muhammad, and you will never write it with your hand. And he's speaking about the Quran. The fact the verse itself doesn't speak about the Quran, it's speaking about books before the Quran. وَمَا كُنْتَ تَتْلُو مِنْ قَبْلِهِ مِنْ كِتَابٍ وَلَا تَخُطُّهُ بِيَمِينِكَ. Let us see the translation just to expose the liars. Choose any translation you want. Any Abdul you want. Yusuf Ali, Shakir, Biktal, whatever you want. Alright. You will see. And thou wast not able to recite a book before this book, nor art thou able to transcribe it with the right hand. Before. So he's talking about what? A book exists before. So you never recite a book, you never write a book before. That was not about the Quran. But he just said to us that this will be about the Quran. You can change the translation. Either though I don't accept the translation Muslims they have, but we will go with it just for now. Okay. And you did not recite before it any book, nor did you transcribe one with your right hand. So, nor you did transcribe one what? One of those books before it. He's not speaking about the Quran, but in the video he's saying this about the Quran. Deception.
So this is entirely an oral exercise for the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And once he says something, he doesn't edit it. He doesn't correct it. That's it. Allah revealed it and that's it.
Absolutely. This is why Muhammad, he said the Quran came to me in 7 letters, because each time he recited the verse, he cannot recite it again the correct way. And he just said to us, he don't edit it. That's funny. That's funny. So how come the Quran come in 7 letters and they don't match? And by the way, where is the other 6 Quran right now? They are gone? Allah, he sent it in 7 Quran because supposedly that will make it more easy to understand. But now Allah decided that those 6 was a mistake to send them, so Allah decided to delete them and only one exists. Oh, Uthman, he decided.
There's no, I didn't mean to say that, let me change the way I said it, etc., etc. Right? It's exact.
That's false, because the Quran says that any verse Allah he sent and he decided to abrogate, he caused it to be forgotten, and he will make something better or similar. Something better or similar. That was the editing of Muhammad, not Allah, because Allah doesn't exist. That was the editing. If we go to the Quran, we will see the following. In chapter 2, verse 106, you will see the following. It says, any verse we cause to be forgotten, none of our revelation do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, but we substitute something better or similar. Why Muhammad came with this verse? Because he cannot recite the same verse twice. That was the editing. Because simply, not editing on purpose, because simply he cannot make it twice. He say it, he is not writing it, he tried to say it again, something is missing, so he say, oh, you know what, don't forget about it, don't worry about it, Allah caused it to be forgotten, but he will give me something similar. It's obviously Muhammad is a scammer. Because if he is a prophet of God, why Allah caused him to forget the verse? And then he give him something similar, not exactly the same verse. Imagine. That because he's a scam. Follow with me with more videos. Christ is Lord. Islam is false. Ameen.